Welcome back to the main events of Italian diplomatic activity abroad. The expansion of the Middle East conflict with Israel's attack on Iran was at the center of the G7 meeting held in Kananaskis, Canada on June 16 and 17th. The contents of the joint statement signed by the 7 leaders were summarized by Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni.
Siamo tutti ovviamente impegnati per la pace e la stabilità del Medio Oriente. Siamo
We are
consapevoli
all
del
obviously
fatto che
committed
la
to
principale
peace and
fonte di
stability in the
instabilità
Middle
nella
East.
regione
We are aware
è
that
stato
the main source of instability in the region has been Iran itself. We agree that Israel has the right to defend itself, but the goal we are all working towards is to reach negotiations that truly prevent Iran from becoming a nuclear power. That said, I believe this is the right moment to adequately push for a ceasefire in Gaza, which is included in the leaders' declaration. I'm satisfied with the result.
È contenuto nella dichiarazione dei leader e sono soddisfatta di questo risultato.
In Canada, Meloni also held several bilateral meetings with UK Prime Minister Starmer, Canadian Prime Minister Carney, and briefly with US President Trump, before the latter left the summit one day early. The opening of the new front in the Middle East is at the center of intense contact by Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani with the main diplomacies involved. From the hours immediately following the Israeli attack, the head of the Farnesina spoke with the Foreign Minister of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Abbas Araghchi, the President of Israel Herzog, and the Prime Minister of the Palestinian National Authorities, Muhammad Mustafa. In the following days, phone talks involved European partners and those from the Middle East: Qatar, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Syria, as well IAEA Director Rafael Grossi and US Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Minister Tajani is also in constant contact with the Italian ambassadors in the area, particularly with Paola Amadei in Tehran and Luca Ferrari in Tel Aviv. On June 17, Tajani participated in the Extraordinary Foreign Affairs Council convened virtually by EU High Representative Kaja Kallas, dedicated to the outbreak of the conflict between Israel and Iran. The Extraordinary FAC allowed the minister to emphasize Italy's position in favor of an immediate return to political dialogue to avoid escalation in the Middle East. According to the Foreign Minister, achieving this goal will require and benefit from the active role by the European Union. On June 18th and 19th, Minister Tajani chaired the celebration for the 20th anniversary of the Messina and Taormina Conference of 1955, an event that laid the foundation for the birth of the European Economic Community. The ancient theatre of Taormina hosted a ministerial meeting with the participation of representatives from France, Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Kosovo, North Macedonia, Malta, Moldova, Poland and Serbia, as well as EU Enlargement Commissioner Marta Kos. The final document states that Europe must restart from the strengthening of defense and border security, full support for Ukraine and acceleration of enlargement with the early accession of Western Balkan countries. On the sidelines of the meetings, Minister Tajani stated that the government is working to facilitate the departure from Tehran and Israel of compatriots who intend to leave these countries. We are organizing charter flights, explained Tajani, which are paid because this is not an evacuation but assistance and coordination for Italians who wish to leave the two countries. In Israel, said Tajani, there are about 2,000 Italians, while in Iran there were 440, now I believe there are 400. On June 20th, the summit, the Mattei Plan for Africa and Global Gateway, a joint effort with the African continent, was held in Rome, co-chaired by Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. Participants included the President of the African Union, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, IMF Director Georgieva, and representatives of the governments of Angola, Zambia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo and Tanzania. We believe that strengthening Africa also means strengthening Europe, said Prime Minister Meloni in her speech. Von der Leyen thanked Italy for having placed cooperation with Africa at the center of our action and emphasized how the Mattei Plan falls within the broader European investment program Global Gateway, worth 300 billion euros. On June 13 and 14, the Secretary General of the Farnesina, Ricardo Guariglia, visited Mozambique, a focus country of the Mattei Plan, leading a system mission of cooperation, universities, civil society, Italian companies and international organizations. Ambassador Guariglia, was received by the President of the Republic, Daniel Francisco Chapo, and held bilateral consultations. With the meetings highlighted Mozambique's strong interest in Italy and reaffirmed the strategic role of the country for a fair and mutually beneficial partnership with Italy. Recently inaugurated in Santiago, Chile, at the Museum of Contemporary Art, the exhibition Chimere, the 1974 Biennale as a social laboratory of the present, was promoted by the Italian Cultural Institute in collaboration with MAC and the Chilean Ministry of Culture. The exhibition, open to the public until next September 7th, aims to restore value and remember the importance of the 1974 edition of the Venice Biennale, entirely dedicated to Chile, just months after Pinochet's coup. Cristina Di Giorgio, director of the Italian Cultural Institute in Santiago, emphasized how artistic reflection of the 1974 Biennale still today offers the opportunity to develop a creative proposal that strengthens ties between Italy and Chile. And that's all for now. Thanks for your attention and stay tuned.